How does Luther College help students to find a job? One that will enable them to get ahead, not just get by. How does Luther College help students prepare for an uncertain future? One where AI may end up shifting the landscape in unpredictable ways. How does Luther College ensure it is worth the financial investment we are asking families to make? That is worth the risk we are asking them to take. Can we trust you? These are some of the questions I saw in the faces of prospective students and their families on our 3 admitted student visit days last spring. These are some of the questions I repeatedly heard from our alumni during dozens of gatherings over the past year. How will Luther College ensure that families can access affordable, high-return degrees? How will Luther College contain costs and improve pricing transparency? How will Luther College ensure that every academic program equips students to repay their student loans? These are some of the questions that the United States Secretary of Education asked earlier this month as part of a national call to action. Questions that she expects each college and university to publicly address on their websites by December. Questions that the chair of the Iowa House Higher Education Committee indicated in a formal notification last week that he will hold all colleges and universities in Iowa, both public and private, accountable for answering. These are important questions, ones that to varying degrees we ignore at our peril. And we already have a good start in providing answers to them. We have been recognized by Forbes as one of the nation's best private colleges for financial aid, awarding over $50 million each year. We have been recognized by the Wall Street Journal for the quality and frequency of our learning opportunities, our faculty interactions and feedback, and our overall quality of teaching. We are first in Iowa, first in the Associated Colleges of the Midwest, and first in the network of ELCA colleges and universities. We have been further recognized by the Wall Street Journal for career preparation, placing first in the Associated Colleges of the Midwest. Surveys indicate that Luther alumni value their education and believe that their undergraduate experience prepared them for their first job. They find their job satisfying, and they observe direct connections between their jobs, their undergraduate majors, and the skills they learned at Luther. Last February, we launched the Luther Promise. We guarantee students and their families an affordable degree that can be completed in 4 years, that provides the flexibility to explore, and that emphasizes experiential learning and career preparedness. We are showing families that we have skin in the game, that we are partners, not merely providers. Yes, we indeed have good answers for many of these questions. But peril also lies in answering only these questions. As Rajiv Vinakota argued in a Forbes article last month, the case for college has gotten too small. The transactional questions that were once the floor have become the ceiling. Cost-benefit analyses and return on investment calculations have come to dominate the national dialogue about higher education, reducing its value to personal gain alone. As a nation, we have been told and we have accepted that career readiness is the only meaningful responsibility of higher education. But this is a moment when we must choose between career advancement and civic preparedness between a private good and a public good. We know better. At Luther College, we know that an education elevates not only individuals, but also communities and society. That the best preparation for an uncertain future is a broad course of study that develops whole persons. That nurturing a guiding purpose inspires and equips students with the tools and dispositions to be global citizens working to make a difference in the world. We demonstrate how a disciplined approach to formulating and analyzing ideas, formulating and analyzing questions, enables us to engage society's most pressing challenges and identify innovative solutions. We foster knowledge and wisdom. We emphasize education and formation. We seek to transform not just individuals, but also society, one graduate at a time. And it is ultimately our responsibility, not the students, not the families, or the regulatory authorities, to make the case. To create a vision for higher education that both meets our transactional obligations and manifests the transformational opportunities integral to our mission. This morning, we gather and ground ourselves in our mission and in our community. Together, we prepare ourselves for the arrival of students and the beginning of a new academic year, one that will again be marked by causes for celebration and causes for concern. This year, we again expect to have more students beginning their Luther story at Luther College than last year. We are growing in a shrinking market, and we are the only institution among the 14 members of the Associated Colleges of the Midwest with larger incoming cohorts for 3 years in a row. I congratulate the teams in admissions, financial aid, and marketing and communications for their good work. And I am grateful for every member of the faculty and staff that worked with them, as well as with the thousands of students who visited campus this past year. We have an incoming cohort with a larger head count, with more net tuition revenue per student, with a lower discount rate, and with a stronger academic profile. Our vendor partners advised us not to be so ambitious, that we had to choose, that we could not have all 4. I am proud that we set our sights high, that we believed in ourselves. This year, we are again well positioned to have a higher percentage of students return for their sophomore year. I congratulate the teams in student success, student life, and academic affairs for their leadership, and I am grateful for the numerous faculty and staff who helped make supporting student retention a collective effort, an institutional effort. And I'm excited to see the impact of the Luther Way, the quality initiative we launched this summer to ensure every student experiences a purposeful 4-year journey connecting academic learning, experiential opportunities, and preparation for life after graduation. This year, we launched our first comprehensive fundraising campaign since 2012. Its ambitious goal of $165 million is the largest in our history. With this campaign, our extended community is reaffirming the relevance of the liberal arts, cultivating community, clearing a path for students to succeed inside and outside of the classroom, and building resilience within our model of higher education. We know that the future is built by those who believe in it. Unlike many other colleges and universities, we are not wondering at this moment if we will survive. We are focusing on how we may lead. We endeavor not only to weather the storm that is upon us, but to become a lighthouse amidst it. We are less than 20% into the 5-year campaign. We have already achieved over 40% of our goal. This year, we substantially increased alumni and community engagement, both in number of events and the number of participants. As a result, a greater number of individuals partnered with us. Both the Luther Fund and Norse Athletic Association enjoyed a larger number of donors than the prior year. Donor retention increased beyond our targets, and we enjoy the second best year of fundraising in our history. I congratulate the advancement team and their collaborators across campus who have worked with them over the past year to show the world that it is indeed time for Luther. This past year, we completed the Jardine Fieldhouse project. We started the renovation of Ashmore Jewel Barn and Campus House. Within the next 2 weeks, we will complete a major repair of Miller and DSeth halls. The fences, the cranes, and the trucks, and the noise and the dust are a sign that we are in a season of renewal, that we are focused on stewardship rather than expansion. I am grateful for the teams in facility services whose commitment and effort help ensure that we have one of the very best residential learning environments in the Midwest. This past year, we received national attention with a visit from His Royal Highness Crown Prince Haakon of Norway. We earned national recognition for our global learning initiatives by receiving the prestigious Senator Paul Simon Award from the world's largest nonprofit association dedicated to international education, student exchange, and global advocacy for higher learning. Only 5 institutions receive the award each year. Luther is the first private college or university in Iowa to receive it. Signs of academic excellence were abundant across campus. Faculty, staff, and students received grants, presented and published their scholarly and professional work, and received awards and accolades. I offer special congratulations to Professor Orchin Selchuk for being named a Fulbright Global Scholar, to Sophia Chatama for being named as a Fulbright English Teaching Assistant, and to Hannah Hoffman and Neve Mee for being named semifinalists in the Fulbright U.S. Student Program. This year, our expenses will once again exceed our revenues, even after the additional spending allowance to the endowment is considered. Last year, we made difficult decisions as a community to find one-time resources to cover the difference, one that exceeded $5 million. This year, that gap is projected to be just over $500,000, approximately 10% of what it was last year. I congratulate the financial services team for their leadership and each and every member of the faculty and staff who helped us to grow revenue and reduce expenses. This was difficult work. In 2024, we received a B- financial grade from Forbes. In 2026, that grade improved to an A+. Thank you for your creative and innovative thinking. Thank you for your community-minded focus. And thank you for your patience. I, too, feel the cognitive dissonance between the improvement of our performance on paper and the sacrifices we continue to make on the ground. The lag is indeed real, but it is shrinking. A future with a balanced budget, even a surplus budget, is now within reach. This year, we need to prepare to decrease the endowment spending allowance from 7% to 6% for the 2027-2028 academic year, and from 6% to 5% for the 2028-2029 academic year. Again, we will need to increase revenue through enrollment, retention, and fundraising. We will need to make difficult decisions and decrease expenses. We will need to wrestle with a challenging environment for international student recruitment. We will need to adapt to increased scrutiny by federal and state regulatory bodies. And we will need to face urgent needs for employee compensation and capital improvement that exceed our current means. Once again, we are at the beginning of a both-and year, one with both sunshine and clouds. Yet they need not cancel each other out. As an institution grounded in the Lutheran tradition, we are equipped to hold in tension realities that are contradictory yet simultaneously true. We can find comfort and confidence amidst the paradoxes that surround us. We know how to do this, even though it is difficult. Finally, this year, we will need to find additional compelling answers to the transactional questions that confront us. We will also need to deepen our focus on the transformational questions that have long been the hallmark of a Luther education. Questions like, what does it mean to be human? What connects and divides us? What is the common good? These are the kind of questions that animate mind, body, and spirit, that create citizens, not just workers. A more sustainable and just world needs both. We must expand the case for college. We must demonstrate that the choice between payoff and purpose is a false one. That Luther College, this people in this place, prepares students for both a good job and a meaningful life. Our bottom line depends on it. So too does our mission. We inspire and equip students to courageously serve the common good through a holistic education in the liberal arts. Not a personal good, the common good. Not just service, courageous service. These were not capricious choices. We were intentional. And if we want to foster courageous service, we must first nurture curiosity. What I would argue is our most differentiating institutional value. Curiosity has a superpower. It overcomes contempt. It invites consideration. Consideration of another perspective, another experience, not to criticize it, but to understand it. It inspires discovery. Discovery that the well-being of our neighbor is integral to our own. And with that discovery, we find compassion and the courage to act, the courage to serve our neighbor. Curiosity is the heart of our mission in the liberal arts themselves. And it all begins with questions. So, this year, let us be obsessed with questions. Let us show the world that an education that leads to a good job and a meaningful life is not grounded in answers, but in questions. How to ask them and how to seek their answers. This is what makes a liberal arts education evergreen. While others focus on a 4-year return, let us instead show that a Luther education has both a 4-year return and a lifetime return. That we are not merely in the business of creating workers, We do that, but we also do more than that. We make civic-minded servant leaders marked by curiosity, consideration, compassion, and courage. We inspire and equip courageous servant leaders capable of making and sustaining community. Courageous servant leaders capable of catalyzing the creation of a more sustainable and just world. This is what we do, and we do it well. This morning, as we reach the conclusion of this service, we take the opportunity to remember and honor one of these courageous servant leaders, one of our own, one that we lost last year. Jay Utoff was a pillar of the Luther community. He was among the very best of us and was beloved for his kindness, care, and quiet joy. He was an embodiment of servant leadership in all of the values our community holds dear. He has been deeply, deeply missed. Today, we recognize and remember Jay with one of Luther's most prestigious honors, the Spirit of Luther Award. I'd ask Kathy Utoff and any other members of Jay's family that are with us this morning to join me here at the podium. I'm grateful to Jim Martin Schramm, Professor Emeritus of Religion and one of Jay's close colleagues, for preparing the following citation, which I read now. The Spirit of Luther Award recognizes individuals who have provided significant and sustained service to the college and who have demonstrated a personal commitment to Luther's mission, quality, and character. It is with a mixture of deep admiration and profound sorrow that I award the Spirit of Luther Award posthumously to Jay Utoff. Over an extraordinary career spanning 41.5 years, from June 1st, 1984 through December 23rd, 2025, Jay served Luther College with unwavering dedication. Beginning as an electrician, he advanced to lead electrician in 1990, electrical supervisor in 1994, manager of trade services in 1997, and ultimately director of facility services in March 2013. The scope of Jay's stewardship was vast. He oversaw a large and complicated campus network that included buildings, grounds, and roads, as well as steam tunnels and an underground electrical distribution system. During his tenure, several campus facilities were built or remodeled. Jay worked hand in hand with contractors to guarantee the work was finished on schedule. He was equally steadfast during emergency crises, guiding the campus through 2 500-year floods in the span of 8 years. Burst water pipes in the Union and in a residence hall, and extensive mold remediation in another residence hall. Jay also played a pivotal role as Luther embarked on various sustainability initiatives. These included the installation of Luther's wind turbine and several large solar arrays, a hoop house to grow produce for the dining hall, as well as investments in hybrid vehicles and even a biodiesel production facility. Jay was proud that Luther was a sustainability leader, and he worked closely and productively with students, faculty, and staff on these initiatives. Despite a relentless avalanche of daily demands, Jay cheerfully chipped away at his to-do list without ever showing resentment or grumpiness. A genuine servant leader, he always found time to pause for a conversation or share a chuckle with community members. His profound affection for Luther's students, faculty, and staff was deeply mutual. It came as no surprise that he was nominated by his peers to receive the 2006 Luther College Staff Excellence Award. Jay's lifetime of exemplary service leaves a lasting legacy, and he is missed profoundly across campus. On behalf of the students, faculty, and staff of Luther College, it is a privilege to honor Jay Uthoff with the Spirit of Luther Award presented today to his cherished wife, Kathy. Soli Deo Gloria.